Hi, I'm Chili Bin, and this is Raiden. We met on day 2 of our Appalachian Trail through hike and ended up hiking the whole thing together. Now we're in New Zealand. We just got married and we're off to explore the country together, hiking and tramping using mostly gear I made for us. Subscribe to come along with us as we explore the great outdoors. Hi guys, Chili Bin here. We've covered a fair bit of distance in the van since last time I posted a tramping video, but now we're up in Nelson Lakes National Park and it's a little before 1 PM and we're just setting off on the Travers Sabine Circuit. It's a combination of valley walking and alpine pass over Travers Saddle. We're going to head up to Blue Lake, which is the optically clearest lake in the world, and then head back down the Sabine Valley. We're hoping that if on our final day the weather plays nice, we can come back over Mt Cedric and the ridgeline along there, but if the weather's no good, we'll follow the valley back to our car that way. We're planning on finishing this circuit off. Hey! We're planning on finishing this walk in 4 days, 3 nights. Not entirely certain what the distance is. I'll see if I can figure it out and pop it on the screen or something. But I've done this trip a couple of times before. It's a really beautiful area, so I wanted to share it with Raiden. So we just stopped off really briefly at Coldwater Hut. So we're continuing on our way towards John Tate Hut now. Where are we? Oh yeah, that side track. But we're going through this scriggliness? So we got to John Tate Hut around 6 PM, which was about 5 hours walking from the start today. So really happy with that. There's a bunch of people here, some people walking to Aroa, some people who are going to summit Mt Travers tomorrow, and I don't know, some other people doing the circuit and things, so good group of people to sit and talk to. It's still fairly warm, and it's really warm inside the hut with all the people, so looking forward to it cooling down a little bit, and hopefully I get a good night's sleep and we don't have any snorers because there's a lot of people in there. Good morning. We're just leaving John Tate Hut and continuing up the Travers Valley to Upper Travers Hut. From there we're going to head up over Travers Saddle, down to the West Sabine Hut, and then up to the Blue Lake and the Blue Lake Hut. It's a 21.5 kilometre day for us today. It's not too far, but we have 1,700 metres of elevation gain, which is a pretty decent climb. We just stopped off at Upper Travers Hut for a 10-15 minute break, put on some sunscreen. It's time for hats and things like that because we're getting out of the bushline and heading up to Travers Saddle. The track came up the valley there, and straight up this face in front of us. You can't really see the track because it's so steep, and then we head off up. You can see the saddle up over there. As always, it's difficult to film coming up the steep rock slopes, but we've just come up through there. Keep going this way. Had a couple of false summits. It just keeps going up and up and up. And there's still more to go over there. Here we are at Travers Saddle. We just came from that way. Up here we've got two unnamed peaks. Track down the other side heads down that way into the Sabine Valley, and then over here this is Mt Travers. Just coming down off the Travers Saddle now. It took us about an hour and a quarter from the Upper Travers Hut to get to the saddle, and now it's only 6 kilometres and about 1,200 metres elevation drop down to the West Sabine Hut. The sign when we left Upper Travers Hut said it was going to take us 6 hours to get to West Sabine Hut, so I'm assuming that they are budgeting for a lot more time reaching the summit, and I think this downhill shouldn't be too bad. A lot of it is in the bush on formed track, so although it's going to be fairly steep, it's not going to be any sort of clambering or anything like that. Heading back down into the bush now. It's It's very steep. So Raiden and I arrived at the West Sabine hut around 2:30, and we've decided we're going to stay here for the night. So it changes our plans a little bit. He's got a little bit of a sore foot, and so we figured another 7 kilometers is probably not worth it right now. So instead we're just going to hang out here this afternoon, and then tomorrow we'll head down the valley to Sabine Hut, and then make a decision whether we're going up over Roberts Ridge or back around the bottom, depending on how his foot's feeling. What this does mean it's about 8:15, and we are just leaving West Sabine Hut, heading down the valley towards Sabine Hut. The signage says this is going to take us about 5 hours, but it is just following the valley the whole way down, so I expect we'll do it a lot quicker than that. And then tonight we're just going to stay at Sabine Hut, which means it's a very short day for us. I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to do the rest of the day, but because of Raiden's foot yesterday and not going up to Blue Lake, just the timing of things, we can't keep going. There is another hut, Angelus hut, up on the ridge, but that requires booking, and we've got no internet here, so we can't book it. Otherwise we could potentially head up there tonight. So maybe I might check my phone and see if I get any reception later on today, and if I do, we could book that hut. Otherwise we'll just stop and have a nice short day. You're just desperately trying to have your Snow White moment. It's just gone midday and we've reached Sabine Hut. There's a little bit of 4G here, so we've actually been able to check the weather forecast, and it looks like we're going to have good weather tomorrow. Raiden's foot's feeling pretty good, but not 100%, so we've decided we're going to stay here for the rest of the day and tonight, because we can stay here for free with our annual hut pass, and then tomorrow we'll go up to Mt Cedric, past Angelus Hut, over Roberts Ridge, and back down to the car, which is going to be a pretty epic day. We're just leaving Sabine Hut. I think it's around 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're heading up to Mt Cedric, over to Angelus Hut, and then over the Roberts Ridge back down to the van. We have 1,400 meters of vertical gain before we get to Angelus Hut, so very steep, long uphill right in front of us. The birds here, they're so dang friendly. Hey bud. So we've just reached the bush line. It was about a 1,000 meter relentless steep uphill climb. It was about 2 hours to get here. But now we're out, heading up to the ridge. Mt Cedric is just up there. And then we have about another 400 vertical meters to go to our highest point for the day. There's Lake Angelus and Angelus Hut. Pretty spectacular view. We just stopped and had a little over 20-minute break, I guess, out Angelus Hut. And the time that we're here, it's gone from nice-ish to completely cloudy. And so now we're heading up to Robert Ridge in thick cloud. And it's raining. It wasn't raining a couple of seconds ago. Oh. We just had a quick debate, dropping down into Speargrass Hut and coming around the bottom. We don't really want to miss out on the Ridgeline work we put in, so hope we get this way. It's all good. Not much of a view anymore, but it's still pretty cool being up here versus being down in the valley. So we have finished our trip now. We came out at the Roberts Road car park and we're just walking back down the hill to the track that we started on, which was the track that took us around to Coldwater Hut. And it was great. Like, the ridge walk today was super windy and a little bit cold, but not too bad overall. I think I'm glad that we ended up staying on the ridge instead of heading down off the ridge when we had our first opportunity. Visibility came and went as we walked, but overall it was a pretty cool walk, and coming down off the ridge at this end was much nicer than it had been going up at the Cedric end, so that was cool. We're going to take a couple of days off tramping for a bit now. We're going into Nelson to explore the Nelson region, have a look at some tourist attractions and things like that, and then I think we'll be, actually maybe I won't tell you. I won't tell you where we're heading next. Keep that one a surprise, and you'll have to wait till the next video comes out.